All righty. I think you are ready to put everything about the verb to be together. And when I say everything, I'm talking about these words down here. I'm talking about the verb to be affirmative, the verb to be negative, and the verb to be interrogative. And I know you've heard affirmative and negative. Interrogative is a new word I'm using for question. All it means really is question. Okay. So affirmative to be means when we're talking about affirmative, I don't like the way that looks. I'm going to fix it. Okay. So affirmative to be is when we're talking about positive. Negative to be is when we're talking about negative, and interrogative to be is when we're talking about questions. Affirmative, negative, and interrogative. And we're going to walk through it a little bit at a time. The whole last section is going to be interrogative. Affirmative and negative, I think you guys are pretty good with that. So, affirmative, again, this is when we talk about the positive, and we can say, I am, you are, he is, she is, it is, we are, you are, and they are. And the negative is when we're talking about the negative, and it all comes down to this word not, right? I am not, you are not, he is not, she is not, it is not. We are not, you are not, and they are not. So let's just look at how this works in practice. I want you to write a complete affirmative sentence for each of these pictures. Okay, you stop the video, and write 4 sentences. Look at picture number 1 and write a complete affirmative sentence with a capital letter, a subject, a verb, and punctuation. Look at picture number 2, picture number 3, and picture number 4. Okay, stop your video. Okay. You could have come up with any number of sentences, anything you could write about these sentences. I'm just going to write some sentences that I thought of. So I'm going to write for this one, I would say, he is in his bedroom, right? He is in his bedroom. I have a subject, I have a verb, and I have a location. So I used the to be in affirmative to talk about location. Let's do for her. She is a doctor. So I have a subject and a verb, and I used the to be affirmative to talk about her profession, right? How about this one? I can say, they are American, right? With their US flags and their red, white, and blue hats. Looks like maybe the 4th of July. So I use the affirmative. I have a subject and the verb to be. I use the affirmative to talk about their nationality. And then my last one, I could say, she is tall. And I have a subject and a verb, and I use the to be affirmative to talk about her, an adjective about her. She is tall, right? Well, if we switch this around to write a negative sentence, now I want you to look at each one of these and write a negative sentence for each picture. So your video, stop your video, write a sentence for each picture using the negative, so not, and when you're ready, start the video. Okay, so you could have written anything you want. Here are some sentences I would write. I would say maybe he is not thin, right? I have my subject, my verb, and the word not. This makes it a negative. For this one, I would say it is not big, right? My subject, my verb, my not, and my adjective. It is not big. How about this one? He is not in the kitchen, right? Is there a bathtub in the kitchen? No. He, my subject, my verb, not. He is not in the kitchen. And how about for these guys? They are not happy. They are not happy. We have my subject, my verb to be, and the word not. They are not happy. Were any of our sentences the same? Did you write same sentences? Okay, so for the first one, we had affirmative sentences, right? Affirmative. For the second one, we had negative sentences. Now we're going to move into questions. Okay, and I said here that questions, the fancy word for questions is interrogatives. Interrogatives. So let's talk about three kinds of questions. We've been talking about three kinds of questions all along, right? Practicing. There are yes, no questions. There are either or questions, or there are information questions. Okay, and we're going to look at each one. All right, so let's look at a yes, no question. For this yes, no question, I'm going to ask you to answer the question. I want you to stop the video, answer the question, and I'll just tell you that every one of these is going to have an affirmative answer. An affirmative answer, okay? So stop your video, write your answer to each question, and then start your video. Okay. All right, so here we go, the answers. This one says, is she a doctor? The answer is yes, she is. This one says, is he rich? Yes, he is. Are they American? Yes, they are. And is he sad? Yes, he is. This should actually be lowercase h. Okay, so that's a simple answer to a yes, no question. You can answer yes or no. Let's look at this one. These are all yes, no questions. In this, the answer is going to be no to each one of them. So stop your video, answer each question with a negative answer. Stop. Okay, let's look at the answers. So here's a dog in his house, and it says, is it in the kitchen? Is it in the kitchen? No, it is not. Okay, this is the negative answer. We have the subject, the verb to be, and the not. How about this one? These two guys right here. Are they sad? No, they are not. Right? My subject, my verb to be, and my not. Good. This one says, are you a teacher? Are you a teacher? You, Misael, you, Claudia, you, Cindy, are you a teacher? And the answer would be no, I am not. For you. If I was answering, I would say, yes, I am, but you are not, right? And this one says, is she a teacher? Is she a teacher? No, she is not. Okay, and again, for each one of these, I have my subject, my verb to be, and my not. My subject, my verb to be, and my not. Okay, so this was an affirmative answer. Yes. This was a negative answer. No, with not. And now we're going to look at either or, right? This is our second kind of question. The first kind was yes, no. The second kind was either or. So this one says, is she a doctor or a teacher? Is it big or little? So look at each question and answer. So stop your video, write your answers. Stop. Okay, ready? This one says, is she a doctor or a teacher? This means must choose. And the answer is she is a doctor. She is a doctor. And this one, is it big or little? Is it big or little? It is big, right? For each one, I have my subject, my verb to be, my subject, and my verb to be. This one, are they married or single? They are married. I have my subject and my verb to be. And this one says, look at Nancy's cat. Oh boy. Ugh. Is Nancy's cat ugly or beautiful? It is ugly. Okay, for you advanced people, I also could have said her cat is ugly or Nancy's cat is ugly. Okay, so these are either or. It means I must choose between this one or this one, this one or this one, this one or this one, this one or this one. So I made a choice and I wrote my answer. And my answer ends up in the affirmative, but it's because I chose one. Well, here's the third kind of question. It's called an information question. An information question asks who, what, when, where, how, why, and how many. Right? So many questions. We don't know all of these words yet. Some of these words are level 2 words. Okay, but we know what, when, where, what, when, where. I think that's good. I think we know what, when, where. So I want you to look at the questions. These are information questions, right? The answer is not there. It's not yes, no. It's not either or. It's an open question. So I want you to answer the questions. I want you to stop your video and answer each question, okay? Stop. Okay, so here we go. It's saying, what color are her shoes? What color are her shoes? We'll look at them. We can say her shoes are purple, right? Her shoes are purple. So here's my subject and my verb to be. We could also say they are purple, right? Because we're talking about her shoes and it's plural. We could say they are purple. Okay, here's a guy. Where is the man? Where is he? Well, we could say he is in the living room. We answer the question, right? It doesn't give us a choice. It doesn't ask us yes or no. It just asks us for information. So here's my subject and my verb to be. This one. What is his name? What is his name? What is his name? His name is Pedro. His name is Pedro. Here's my subject. Here's my verb to be. All right, and this one is a funny question. What is wrong with this cat? ¿Qué tiene este gato? What is wrong with this cat? And I think we're just going to say no, not he. It is sick, I guess, right? It is sick. Here's my subject and my verb to be. That cat looks sick. Okay, so these are information questions. It's asking a question at the beginning, what, or where, or what, right? It starts with a question word. So let's look at all of these together. We have at the top, we have our yes, no questions, our either or questions, and our information questions. And I kind of divided them up into columns so we can see here. And we'll start with the picture. So we see a man and a woman. They are in the kitchen. They are cooking. Yes. So we make our question. And what you need to remember is that with questions, we start with the verb and then we add our subject, right? Are they in the yard? Are they in the yard? This is a yes, no question. What is the answer? No. No. They are not. Our answer is negative, right? And look what happens. Oopsies, right? So in a question, first comes the verb, then the subject. But in the answer, that flips around. Oops, I didn't draw the right arrows. In the answer, that flips around and we have the verb and then the subject, right? So in a question, In a question, we have verb, subject. In an answer, we have subject, verb. They switch places. Okay, here it says, we're talking about the picture. Are they married or single? Are they married or single? This is an either or question, and we have to switch it around. They are married. And here it says, where are they? Remember, in the answer, we switch it around. They are in the kitchen. Okay, how about this one? This question. Is her car new? Look, first comes the verb, then comes the subject. Oops, the subject is actually her car, right? This is the whole thing is the subject right here, her car. So in the answer, we have to switch it around. Is her car new? Yes or no? Yes, her car is new, right? The subject and the verb switch around. We go from subject to verb to subject. Okay, or we could also have said it is new. This one says, is her car big or small? Is her car big or small? It is small. What color? This is information question. What color is her car? Her car is red. We could also say it is red. Either one is okay. But again, remember, we have in a question, we have the verb first, then the subject. But in the answer, we have the subject first, then the verb. Okay, is he short? Is he short? Is he short? No, he is not. Again, subject and verb switching. Is his shirt, here's my verb, here's my subject, is his shirt red or blue? So we're going to put subject first, his shirt. Now the verb is red. Okay, and then here's a crazy question. Where is he from? Where is he from? So we have our verb and our subject. You know we have to change place. So we have he is from Canada. Okay, and then my last one here. Is the house big? Is the house big? So here's the subject, here's the verb. We have to switch those around and we say yes, the house, or we could call it it. Yes, the house is big. How about this one? Is the house expensive or cheap? Either or. It is expensive. Either or, we pick this one. And it says, where is the house? Where is the house? Remember my verbs here, my subjects here. I have to switch them around. The house is in Everett. Okay, so that's how we ask and answer yes, no questions, either or questions, and information questions. Now, there are two other kinds of questions. They're called true or false and multiple choice. These are easy ones. These two kinds of questions are like on a test. When you take a test, or sometimes you read and you must answer true or false. So true means affirmative, false means negative. So let's look at a true or false question. True or false? Rachel is married and has 3 children. Is this true or false? This is true. Okay, so I would select true. Sometimes they ask you to choose T or F, or to write T or F. T goes for true, F goes for false. And the last kind of question is called multiple choice. Multiple, which means many, choice, which means choose. Kind of like an either or, you have to choose. In multiple choice, it's not just two, you have lots of options. So it says Rachel is, and your choices are a doctor, a teacher, a student, or a crazy lady. And maybe this one, I don't know, but really, I'm a teacher. So the answer is B. That's called multiple choice. So, drum roll, please. You guys, that is the verb to be. All of the present tense verb to be. Affirmative, negative, and interrogative. And everything we continue to do with the verb to be will be practice, practice, practice. Okay? I'm so proud of you guys. You're doing a great job. You're really learning very well. So, congratulations.